Hey guys, Neely here. I was just sitting here in the Classic Metal Show studio checking out the website of our latest sponsor, Rock Gear. That's right, if you're a rock fan and you like to wear rock and roll memorabilia, Rock Gear is the place to go. They have a whole line of great merchandise over there that I think that anyone who is a fan of rock would appreciate. They have t-shirts of all your favorite bands, and every product in the store is officially licensed, so while you're shopping for your favorite band t-shirts online, you're supporting the bands. How great is that? And Rock Gear is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. If you're unhappy with any order, for any reason, you just got to contact them. They'll send you a replacement or refund your order. All you have to do is send an email to support@rockgear.store. And not only that, they offer free shipping on all orders in the U.S. over $35. Now, there's a value in itself. And speaking of value, Rock Gear is offering Classic Metal Show fans a 10% discount on your order if you use promo code ClassicMetal. Now, that's badass. So go over there to rockgear.store and make your order today.
From the Illusion 1 release, Use Your Illusion 1, that is Guns N' Roses with Dead Horse.
Yeah, just beating that dead horse.
Sounds like that's something we do here on the show.
Wanted to beat that dead dog from that last story.
Exactly. Well, she is part of the Horse and Critter Club.
That is true.
So there were some horses involved there.
Right.
Jason the horse. Which, of course, caused you a lot of problems.
Somewhat. Cost me 2.5 years of the show.
It did. Absolutely. All right, you sent this story last week. We didn't get to it, but we got involved with a guy by the name of Scott Deitch.
Yeah.
And he was on the show back a few months ago, and he apparently found you on Facebook because of your love for mob and gangster-related documentaries and things.
That's correct.
Which, you know, I was immersed in that last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, he had sent this story over to you and shared it with you. His comments here were, Chris, interesting mob hit in New York City earlier today. Poor guy didn't even finish his order.
He keeps me apprised of what's going on with the mob now.
Right.
I love that. I love having a mob correspondent.
A guy who has an interest in the mob.
Yeah, he's the CMS mob correspondent.
He is. But anyway, for months, Sylvester Zottola, Zottola, has been pursued by someone who wanted him dead. On Thursday evening, as night fell outside of McDonald's on Webster Avenue in the Bronx, it appears that someone caught up with him.
Right.
Mr. Zottola, a reputed associate of New York's Bonanno crime family, was believed to have been waiting in his S.U.V. to pick up his order at a drive-thru window when he was shot dead.
Oops. That's a far cry from the steakhouse, isn't it?
Yeah.
The one guy gets it to, what's his name? Paul Castellano at the steakhouse. This guy at a fucking McDonald's drive-thru.
Yeah, Sparks Steakhouse.
Yeah, from Sparks Steakhouse to the McDonald's drive-thru.
Of course.
What a fall from grace.
Or Jimmy Hoffa at the, what was it, the Red Fox or the Lucky Fox or something like that.
Some bullshit restaurant somewhere.
Yeah. This guy's in a McDonald's drive-thru.
Exactly.
I guess the mob is not paying well these days.
No, it's certainly not. It's certainly not doing business like it used to.
No. I mean, what that question was actually posed to me earlier this week. What do the mob do these days for money? Are they, you know, obviously they've diminished considerably since Gotti went away.
Yeah.
And died. But for the most part, it's certainly not like the Sopranos or anything anymore. Do you think?
I don't think so. But you got to think that they have some reach into labors. And you got to think that by this point, they have to have some reach into like online activities.
Well, that was my answer, is that they probably participate in the dark web.
Yeah, something like that, or scams.
Yeah, but because technology has advanced so far that the FBI can pretty much keep an eye on everybody and everything.
Maybe they're the ones that are sending those emails saying that they're, a prince in Nigeria or something.
You never know.
Maybe it's really just the mob.
But a coworker this week received 2 separate phone calls on her cell phone, saying it was an IRS, it was an IRS issue to where she needed to take care of this IRS thing. Otherwise, she was going to be sued by the IRS.
Okay.
And so she gave me the phone number, and I looked it up, and of course it came up as IRS scam.
Of course.
but again, this goes back to something we were talking about earlier today. It's who falls for these things?
People that like the scam, and I know you know nothing about this, the scam on Facebook that people are cloning your account.
Okay.
That's a scam that's out there right now. I think I have 104 customers for Aiken IT. At least half of them called me. Did somebody steal my identity?
Well, there was a big hack in Facebook this week.
Yeah, I know, but it's not for what they were calling about.
Okay.
Just like that, dude, you got that email that's going around. That's another scam. The one about we've got your password.
Yeah.
We recorded you jerking your dick to fucking porn.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, that's what it says.
It does. It's like, oh, so you like to have a little fun online. Well, we've recorded all of it, and we're going to share it with your family.
Yeah, and here's your password. So just to prove that we're serious, this is your password. And then it's like some old password. Because what it is it's from a hack a few years ago of Yahoo.
Right.
So anybody that had Yahoo got, their passwords were shared out there. But if you just send them $5,000 in Bitcoin, then all will be forgiven.
Of course.
Yeah, fuck off. But again, I got calls about that too. Another scam. And people fall for it. Obviously, if I'm getting calls from business customers that are asking me if it's real or not, people are falling for that shit.
Yeah. Mr. Zottola, a reputed associate with the New York's Bonanno crime family, was believed to have waited in his SUV waiting in his SUV to pick up his order at the drive-thru window at the McDonald's when he was shot dead. In what a law enforcement official described as a mafia-style assassination, Mr. Zottola was shot once in the head and 4 times in the torso.
Jeez.
He was pronounced dead at the scene. His assassin fled in what the police say was a gray vehicle, and it remains at large.
Wow.
It is the bloody conclusion to months' worth of gangland-style assaults against Mr. Zottola, 71. He was 71.
So he got it all in.
Yeah. And his son, Salvatore, which through the 1990s and through the 2000s supplied and serviced Joker poker machines to mob-controlled gambling hubs, according to the court document. The Joker poker.
I know in Pennsylvania that's a big deal.
Is it?
They have all kinds of laws because of those poker machines.
All right.
Because me and Ed own one. I bought one and we placed it, but then it just was like, it didn't generate enough money. But it was red tape galore to get one because of the mob.
Right, of course.
Because the mob used to be big in that industry.
Right.
So now it's like all regulated like crazy.
Yeah.
Just to have one of these stupid machines.
Little gaming machine.
Not worth having.
No. Less than 3 months ago, the younger Mr. Zottola, 41, narrowly escaped his own brush with death, ambushed by a gunman on a quiet neighborhood street in the early hours of July 11th, Mr. Zottola was left for dead outside of his family's Trogs Neck compound. He was shot multiple times by an unidentified assailant, but he survived. What were they using? They must have been using some kind of small caliber gun.
Or didn't really shoot at him. They just shot at the dad,
I guess. Caught on grainy security camera footage, the sloppy hitman sped off in an Acura TL. That, too, was not the first overture against the family this summer. The elder Mr. Zottola was facing charges in the Bronx criminal court for brandishing an unlicensed gun and an unknown thug who confronted him outside of his home in June. The would-be assailant vanished, and Mr. Zottola was charged with criminal possession of a firearm. He was scheduled to appear in court the next Tuesday.
Okay.
There have been no arrests beyond the elder Mr. Zottola in a connection with either incident, though investigators say they were looking at whether they were connected and how the pair's mafia ties could have put them in someone's crosshairs. The investigation into the incidents has passed from the Bronx District Attorney's Office to federal investigators earlier this year. Asked about the inquiry on Thursday night, the United States Attorney's Office declined to comment.
Okay.
A call to Salvatore Zottola's phone number was unanswered. According to the court documents, the elder Mr. Zottola was known as Sally Daz.
Sally Daz.
Sally Daz, D-A-Z.
Sounds like a rapper more than a gangster.
Yeah, and 71 years old.
Yeah, no kidding. Sally Daz.
Yeah. Brought his son into the fold in the late 1990s. Mr. Zottola was a noted associate of Vincent J. Basquione.
Okay.
Who led the Bonanno crime family in the early 2000s. Mr. Zottola opened his family's Trogs Neck compound to Mr. Basquione's girlfriend, Deborah Caleb, who lived at the home around the turn of the century.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, this kind of goes back to a lot of years.
Yeah, it does.
As Mr. Zottola aged, so did the vitality of his mobland ties. Mr. Basquione was also known as Vinny Gorgeous.
Vinny Gorgeous, yeah.
Vinny Gorgeous. Led by the Bonanno family only briefly before landing a life sentence in federal prison over murder and racketeering charges.
Wow, still killing each other, huh?
Mr. Zottola's namesake company, DAZ Amusements, which serviced the mob's poker machines, appears to have gone defunct, and now organized crime apparatuses, namely Albanian and Russian mobs, have moved into the more traditional conciliar turf.
And as Tony Soprano told us, you don't fuck with the Russian mob.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
In the parking lot of the McDonald's on Thursday evening, bullet holes were visible in the passenger side window of the maroon SUV. Juan Bravo, who owns an auto body shop nearby, said he was in the paint store across the street from the McDonald's when he heard the gunshots shortly after 5 p.m. Wow, this was a daytime thing.
Middle of the day.
Yeah. 2 minutes later, it was commotion with ambulances, he said. Mr. Bravo said he believed that the woman and a baby were in the car, but they appeared to be unharmed.
Huh.
He said that the video footage from the shop and from around the paint store had been shared with the police. Mario Martinez, 25, was parked across the street in his car when he heard the gunshots. He said he quickly sped off, but peered over and saw a guy slumped in his car.
Damn.
It's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Oh, yeah.
Alexander Cutalo. Every one of these people got some fucked up name.
Right.
You never hear any George Smith or Bill, whatever. It's always some Alexandra Cataloa.
Well, they are mob guys.
Yeah.
It's all Italian families.
I guess. A high school senior who had planned to stop at McDonald's on the way to her home in Claremont Village said violence was common in that neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
For this area, it's pretty usual, she said. this area is really active around here where I live. Someone was shot there too, so this area is really iffy.
Iffy.
That's what she said.
I know, I like the term though, iffy.
Yeah. I might walk out the door and get blown away. It's kind of iffy out there.
But I'll still live here.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just become par for the course.
Nope, not a big deal. People getting killed every day.
Yeah. I've seen it before. I'll see it again.
Of course.
Hey, it's Chris Aiken from the Classic Metal Show. We have tons of friends that are musicians, and what they care about most is their gear. If you are a gearhead, then you need to be shopping at Amplified Parts. They have everything from amplifier parts to speakers to effects pedals and more, with some of the best prices out there today. Visit them online at amplifiedparts.com or give them a call at 480-296-0890 and let them fill all of your gear needs today. When your gear is important, only shop with the best, Amplified Parts.